2, and
good morning. Not good morning. I ain't want to say good morning. That's the wrong thing to say.
Just say hello.
Yeah, hello.
let's go. 3, 2, and
Hey everybody, today I'm Jency Riley, and I'm here with the Life of Riley podcast. Today I have no other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Rob J. How you doing, Mr. Rob?
I'm doing good, young man. How you doing today?
I can't complain.
You
man.
can't complain?
I can't complain at all.
All right. This the Riley report?
Life of Riley podcast.
Life of Riley. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. What we talking about today?
We talking about, man, I got a couple things for you. Just want to run it with you, rap it with you.
Yes, sir.
Let's start about Young Rob. Who is he? How is he? Young Rob. Like
He was a good boy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a good boy.
Talk to him.
You know, obeyed his parents. You know. Let me tell you, when I was little, getting into sports, my mother bought me this tape recorder.
Okay.
Right, and it had a microphone on it. Okay. So I was talking on it, played it back, and when you hear yourself, you don't. I was like, "That's me? Is that me?" So I fell in love with that. So what I would do when the guys would be out in the street playing football or at school playing football, I'd go out there with the recorder and be like the play-by-play announcer.
Okay.
You know, and then I interview the guys and I go back and listen to it, and I would watch the games on TV as a little boy to hear the announcers. I didn't care about the game. I just wanted to hear the announcers.
Okay.
So I guess that's how I really kind of wanted to be a play-by-play announcer. I didn't want to be a DJ or anything like that. I wanted to be a play-by-play sports announcer, and that's what I think I got that from that little tape recorder that I had. I wish I still had some of those tapes because I know I was terrible. Oh, but yeah. I would go to the guys in the middle of the game and see. Deion Sanders thought he invented that when he had Neely doing that last year. Yeah, I invented that.
That was you.
Because in the middle of the game when the guys were out there playing, I go over there to him. Hey man, you dropped the ball. What y'all say about that? You know, I would do that. So he didn't invent nothing. Okay. I invented that. Okay. That was me doing that.
Okay. So what would be like the reaction of the players that you would interview like during the game?
Well, they really want to play. They were just guys who played. They couldn't play nothing. But but they liked it, man, because we would all get after the game, after they get to playing. When
they got tired.
Yeah. We would all listen to it, man, and they were like, man, you're pretty good at that. But I didn't think nothing about it. But we were just, because they didn't know what good was, because there was nothing to compare good to. Yeah. You know. So that's what that was kind of my growing up doing that kind of stuff, you know, and that I guess that's what led me to become a broadcaster. And I'll tell you another thing that led me to become a DJ was we had a party in the backyard, and there was a guy. He was a convict. He had just got out of jail, so he was the DJ, and he was funny. His name was Gold Digger, but he was funny, man, and my mom would tell us, y'all need to leave because Gold Digger might say something that he ain't got no business saying. So I was like, no, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. So my early role model was a convict
named Gold Digger.
And that's what I wanted to. That's how I got into radio, I guess, from that. Going to Jackson State, yeah.
Okay, so talk about it. I'm a current student at JSU. I've been here 2 years, going on 3. Mm-hmm. How was your time at Jackson State?
It was great. It was great, especially working with the radio station. Now, at that time, we had a program director who let the students. We worked at WJSU. Okay. I had a shift. My shift was, I kind of had a floating shift. I didn't have a permanent shift, but my shift, because it was so filled up, the hours were like 9 to noon. And then noon to 3, something like that. You know, so every student had a different shift. I don't know if it's like that now, but my time here was great, man. I spent more time over here at the radio station at WJSU. There was no TV station here then, like JSU TV, but it was about the radio, and I spent more time over here at the radio station than I flunked the class because I was always over here because I enjoyed this, man. And WJSU, I tell you, it would go off the air at midnight. Okay. And the last person on would have to close the station down, and they had the security guard here with us, and we would shut it down and then bring it back up in the morning at 6 o'clock. But what we did one time, me and some guys,
talk to me.
We shut it down at midnight. But see, at that time, we couldn't play anything but jazz. Nothing but jazz and a little reggae. So we got together. We said, hey, man, since we knew how to turn the station on and turn off, we said, hey, man, look, when you turn the station off tonight, let's meet over there at 2 o'clock, and we're going to play some Michael Jackson, some Prince. So and that's what we did. We did all that. So we told everybody, listen to WJSU at 2 o'clock in the morning. So we were playing all R&B stuff. And so I don't think we ever got caught, but somebody told it. One guy snitched on us.
Okay.
So I kind of got I had to take a few days off from school. I had to take off. I got kind of spent leave. Yeah. So but I thought they were fun though, man. Cause we were sick of hearing that jazz all the time.
Yeah, I understand.
You like jazz? So 2 o'clock. We did it for an hour. We did it for about.
So
an
how
hour.
long did it last though? Like days, weeks? How long did it last till I got caught? Well,
next day. The next day, because somebody got scared. One of the guys got scared, and because this is what happened. Some dude called him and pretended like he was the FCC. And he said, yeah, I heard you guys violated the policy, and he told it. That was Rob, and that was everybody else. I was like, oh, man, you told it. So we got suspended.
At 2 in the morning?
We did that at 2 in the morning.
I'm saying, why was they up at 2 in the morning listening?
Who?
Whoever's told on you.
No, we were all together.
No, not you. I'm saying who told on you.
Who told on me was the guy that was in on it. But somebody called him from our little group, from our little crooked group, and pretended like they were the FCC to him, knowing that he was the weak link in the group, and he told it.
So you still talk to him today, the weak link?
No, I hadn't talked to him since graduation.
I would have left him on.
Yeah, I was done.
After that, it was over.
Yeah, I was done, man. He snitched on it. But that was fun, though. We did that.
It was fun.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed my time at Jackson State, man. They had everything that I wanted to do. They had it here at JSU. And I had a really good teacher. His name was Mr. Ricks.
Okay.
I got his first name. He would take me to some of the women basketball games, and we do play-by-play. He do the play-by-play, and I did the color. He showed me how to do it, and we did it on a little recording unit. And that's how I kind of wanted to. Remember I told you when I was a little boy, I wanted to do that, and he took me to the game. He said, anybody interested in being play-by-play or doing the games? And I was like, I want to do that. And he took me we did the girls' game.
Okay.
Because we couldn't do the boys. The local station had the contract to do the boys' game, so we did the girls. And that's like I said, man, it just fell into place for me. Everything I wanted to do was right here at Jackson State.
Good.
Yeah.
So how would you say broadcasting, reporting has changed since you first began up until now?
Because they hire anybody. They'll hire then at that time, you had to know what you were doing. You had to be a professional. You watch the news now, they will hire anybody that comes out of college, they right in front of I couldn't do that. When I got out of college, when I got out of Jackson State, I didn't go on the air immediately like that. Okay. Oh, I had to wait. I had to go out in the field and run the camera and all of this. But now, I guess they don't pay you much, so they just get anybody. You don't have to have any experience, and you can see some of those reporters that's on now. Man, they mess up. They fumble. One girl, I'm gonna call the station, but she was on Channel 12. And that was when they were looking for that criminal that escaped. She's up there, and the police are looking for him. I'm like, you don't say police, on the air, But nah, man, it's changed a lot, and everybody now at the time when I was in it, the reporter always had a camera person with him. They had a cameraman with him. Now that reporter is a cameraman. They call it MMJs. So you have to do that yourself. But yeah, it's changed a lot. Because I'm sure they don't want to pay as much as they used to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So me knowing you and doing my research, I learned that you're a radio and video guy.
Yes,
you're
sir.
not just on TV or you're not just on the radio. You're both. What would you say you prefer? Your preference?
Radio.
Radio. Why radio?
Because you don't have to dress up in radio. You don't have to dress up in radio. There's no really a deadline in radio and TV. You got to have your stuff finished before the 6 o'clock news. In radio, you just kind of, it's kind of, a free will kind of a deal. You reach when your break comes up, you do your break and you go to the commercial. You know, like I say, you don't have to dress up. You don't because nobody sees you. But in TV, you got to dress up. You got to make sure your hair cut. You got to make sure you're groomed. You got to make sure you wear the right clothes. And you got in radio, you operate everything by yourself. In television, somebody turns on your microphone. Somebody runs your camera. Somebody's in your ear telling you how much time you got. And see, if you sitting out there, and you mess up. People watching saying, "Oh, Jency messed up. Did you see him mess up?" Because somebody in your ear telling you, "Wrap up." If you're reading the script, and somebody got to run your teleprompter for you. But some stations you run it yourself, but somebody run your teleprompter. So if you're reading the script, you're reading the story, and the person on the teleprompter is on the phone, and the teleprompter just keep running. Now you got to go back to your script. You know, so it's too many people in television running everything for you, but in radio, you run everything by yourself.
But you have a voice, though. I was reading, I can't call out the family, but just one guy who goes to the football games, and he brings his radio with him to the football games, and he listens to you call the football games as he's at the vet.
Who told you that?
It's online. It's an article. I read it. I promise you. I read it. And he watches, instead of him watching the football game and listening to the guy up top, he listens to you on the radio. And
while he's watching the game?
While he's at the game, watching the game. So he watching what's going on, but instead of him watching, he listening to you talk.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and then I heard a couple people, they mute the TV. And they turn on the radio station.
Who told you that? Ed Bishop told you.
Ed Bishop, they tell me nothing, man. But how did that make you feel, knowing that people really...
That's what you want. You want that.
Yeah.
Really? Is that right? I mean, you really want that.
Yeah.
But because, you know, what we do, man, with our group, we try to make it entertaining because the game can get boring. Okay. The game gets boring. Yeah. You know, first through fourth quarter, it's going to be a boring part in there. And we try to say something. We try to do something... that's entertaining. I try to do it, when I try to do the games, I try to do it for people that really don't know about football. I don't want to get too technical. Like when my partner started with me, Darryl Asbury, he was real technical. He was like, that's an in, up, route, outside. I was like, no, coach, that's too technical. Just say what that play was. But I don't want to get too football technical. I just want to do it where a person who is out there listening just can enjoy it and understand football. So, but that's nice to know that people take the radio and listen to us.
People bring the radio to the game. You know, the vet, not no quiet stadium meeting. We got 40,000 plus.
You sure?
Mr. Rob. We got 40,000 plus, and somebody comes with the radio
and listen to us.
Listen to you.
Wow.
While the game is going on.
That's really nice. That's really good. I like to hear that. I didn't know that was. Because you don't really know who's listening until you mess up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would tell you, I read a spot wrong, and our sales manager, Ed Bishop, he come running into the press box. You said that wrong. You said that wrong. I'm like, man, get out of here. But, yeah, so you never know who's listening until you mess up.
That's good.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so I got a word for you.
Okay.
When I say this, I want you to tell me how you feel about this.
Okay.
And so on.
Okay.
Kixie.
How do I feel about it?
Yes. What did that mean to you? Kixie.
It's a radio station.
That's the radio station that you started on, though.
I started on a station called WOKJ.
WOKJ. I ain't never heard of that one.
Yeah, it was right down the street from Jackson State. They tore it down. And it was WOKJ, WJMI.
Okay.
They were in that station together. But since that time, the people that own Kixie bought JMI, and that's why they're together. Okay. But I left OKJ to go to Kixie, and the reason I went to Kixie because Kixie was doing the Jackson State football games on the radio, and I wanted to get on a station that did that, and Kixie was the station that did that. But man, I love Kixie 107. I love it. It's got great boss, great people who work there. I do a blues show on Saturday morning. And I do a shift in the afternoon, and I don't have to be there. We can record it. We call it robo in your shift. Okay. But no, man, Kixie is. I've been there a long time. It's a good station. It's a good station.
Okay. What about your movie? I didn't know you was a movie star.
How do you know about the movie?
I didn't know you was a movie star, man. People say you up there with Denzel. That's what I say. You up there with Denzel. They say Denzel like I didn't know Rob J.
No, well, he really ain't. But, nah, man. Let me tell you about that. Can I tell you how that happened?
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening.
When I was at WOBT, we got this it was an email. I don't think it was email. It was an email then, but we got information that this movie, A Time to Kill, was looking for extras. So they said send your air check, which is some of your work that you do as a reporter, and they'll see if they pick you. So they picked me.
Okay.
I was one of the people that they picked. Okay, now
Special.
it was other people from the station that they picked, but I was one too, and they sent me the script of what I had to read, and the line was, "If you get a conviction, will you ask for the gas chamber?" That was my line. Now we go to it was a Sunday. We had to be in Canton, Mississippi at like 4 a.m. Okay, now you know I like Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
They're not good.
They're not good.
They ain't better than Pittsburgh Steelers.
They're not.
That's not that.
Who the Super Bowl champ?
I mean,
Okay, but anyway. So the Chiefs played the Broncos this day. It's always the Broncos. The Chiefs played the Broncos, and Marcus Allen was on the team. He was going to set the record. But anyway,
Colorado.
they played in Denver that day. Yes. So we had to be at the set in Canton at 4 o'clock in the morning. All right. We're just waiting for our part to come up. So it was close to noon. So they came knock on the little door. We were in a little trailer. They were like, come on, get ready to do your scene. So we were at the steps of the Canton courthouse. Now I'm standing there. It's all the people all the reporters that were in the movie, all the extras were standing there. So this guy comes out. He had his hair pulled in a ponytail. He had a jacket tied around him, and he had some Timberlands.
Okay.
So he said, okay, everybody, let's get ready for this scene before we go to lunch. So he looked out in the little crowd. He said, you say this line, and it was some lady. And so I'm the one that's next. So he reached over me and he said, Howard, who was Howard Ballou. He said, Howard, you say the line about the gas chamber, and then you say the line about this. He said, okay. Now, the line he just told him to say,
that's your line.
That's my line. This is no line now. Okay. So he said, okay, everybody get ready. They were like, okay, background, stand by. And I said, wait, hold it. I said, you just gave him my line. Everybody got quiet. He said, who are you? I said, I'm Rob J. They FedExed me the script. He already said his line. That's my line. So he turned to some guys in some suits, and he said, who's giving out lines in this movie? And they said, you are, sir. He said, now, what is your problem? I said, look, they FedExed me the script. The Chiefs on. I've been here all day. He already said his line. That's my line.
I'm saying
so
my line.
He said, excuse me a moment. So they huddled up. So everybody was standing around me like, Rob J, you know who that is? I ain't watched no movies. Okay. His name was Joel Schumacher. I don't know if you remember him or not. He directed Car Wash and all the Batman movies. Okay. So they were like, Rob J, that's Joel Schumacher. I'm like, oh yeah. My mind is on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody said, Rob J, that man directed The Firm or something like that. Somebody said he directed this. So somebody said, Rob J, that man directed Batman. Now I saw Batman.
Yeah.
I saw everything from Batman, the making of Batman and everything. So when I looked at him, I was like, oh, damn, that. So I was like, oh, damn, that's who that is. So he said, okay, people, quiet down. He said, okay, we're going to do this scene. He said, Rob J. No, he said, we're going to do this scene if it's okay with Rob J. Okay, we're going to say this line if it's all right with Rob J. I was like, dang. I messed up. I knew I messed up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did the line. He had all right to tell me to get out of there.
As an extra.
So I did the line. So he said, okay, good job, everybody. Now let's go to lunch if it's all right with Rob J. I was like, damn, man. Okay, so when we went to lunch, I mean, they lobster tails. It was set out. So I looked for him. He was sitting at the table with his people.
Okay.
And I said, excuse me, sir. Can I interrupt you for a moment? He was like, oh, look, everybody, it's Rob J. I was like, damn. So I said, sir, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that I caused a scene like that. So he grabbed my face and he said, just be nice next time. I said, okay. So he put me in other little parts in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my most embarrassing moment in my life.
But you had it right, though. Like you said, you was up at
I fought for that line. I fought for that line. I sure did.
did.
I sure did. No, man, he come do that. I already said that a lot. But I didn't know that guy was such a big. I didn't know he was the director of the movie. Man, isn't that something? That's my most embarrassing moment in my life. I fought for that though.
I can't. You did. You did. A lot of people wouldn't have did that. A lot of people wouldn't have did that. 4 in the morning.
But then when the premiere of the movie came out, they invited us. It was at Alumar Hall, and the guy at the TV station called. He said, "Hey man, we saw the movie this morning, and guess who not in it?" I said, "Oh, I know I'm not in it. I know they didn't put my part in there." And he said, "No, it's in there." I said, "Yeah." So they kept me in the movie. How about that?
That's good.
They kept me in the movie. So fight for your right.
Fight.
Party.
Okay, give me the line one more time, though. And no, from the movie. I want you to act out the scene.
Okay.
How you had to say it.
Okay. The actor was what was his name? I don't. What was the name of the actor in A Time to Kill? He was the attorney. He was the attorney for the.
Matthew McConaughey.
No, it was the other one.
McConaughey?
It was the other one. He was the other attorney. He was the prosecutor. What was his name? Remember, he got into some trouble recently. But anyway,
Baldwin?
not Alec Baldwin. It was Kevin something.
Spacey? Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, okay.
Yeah, so he was at the courthouse. So I said, if you get a conviction, will you ask for the gas chamber? That was it. That was my
Just that
line.
simple.
That's it. That's it. But you know what? They paid us really good for that. And I still get checks from that. But they're like $5, $10. So y'all need to start watching that movie, man.
Oh, yeah.
The more people watch it. But when it first came out, I got $1,500 for that, for saying that. And it started dwindling.
$1,500 for
$1,500 for that little line. I'm like, man, if I got this, what do the people say that
They get
they talk all the time?
the start of the movie.
Yeah, I got $1,500. Sure did. I need to be in another movie.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it.
Fix this, man. What you doing this little podcast? You got to fix
Man,
that.
we could, Mr. Dr. Bishop help us out. We could turn this to a movie now.
Absolutely.
This could be me and yo.
Absolutely.
We can have our own movie.
Yeah, so while you got your boy Deion Sanders telling me how to talk, I already been in a movie, man. While you talking,
Okay, so let's talk about that. Coach Prime. Coach Prime was my freshman year. He recruited me, him, and Coach TC, and everybody.
Did you like
there.
him?
I did. Coach Prime was my guy. When I first came up here, we raced, and I won. Let him tell it. He came out of shoe. But if you watch the video,
but he had
came
a
out
bad
of
foot, man.
That ain't got nothing to do with me, mister. That ain't got nothing to do with him. He came out of the shoe trying to catch me. Now, him coming out of the shoe, they ain't got to do him bad foot. He called me out. He pulled up. I'm freshman.
Of all the people he called
you. See, but we had been talking 'cause I ran track in high school. So he seen a couple clips.
You beat him.
Did I beat him? It wasn't even close.
It wasn't. Oh, he had a bad foot.
Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Okay.
He called me
You got
out.
footage of it?
Yeah, it's all over. It was on his social media. It's all over social
Oh,
media.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's me.
That was you? Oh,
That's
okay.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me. But speaking of Coach Prime, how was your experience with that? Because I know you all went viral. What was it? He said you.
Yeah, he said I changed my voice.
Yeah, he said you was doing something wrong, and he caught a lot of heat for that.
Yeah. See, he didn't know who he know.
They ain't know who messing with.
He know who he
They
dealing with. He
ain't
know
know
who
who
he
messing
But see, because I guess he thought I was just some freaking frack Rudy Poot reporter.
Rudy Poo reporter.
I didn't change my voice for nothing. But see, he would say that every week.
Yeah.
But this one particular week, I posted it. I didn't know nothing about viral or none of that. And it went, people were on my side.
That went platinum.
Yeah,
That went platinum.
people on my side, and I really appreciate that too. But no, man, it was. And if you go back and watch it, I didn't change my voice at all. My very first question to him is always, "How you feeling today?" That's what I ask him. How you feeling today? And he just, hey, you change your voice. You change your voice. But he was a delight to interview because he was funny, and he knew. We had a good little chemistry together.
Okay.
Me and him, because he kind of anticipated what I was going to do, and he was like the guys that I grew up with, man.
Yeah.
But he was a fun. I miss that. I do miss those interviews with him. You know, the entourage that he had. I don't miss that. But I miss him, man, and I wish him the best. I heard he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, I wish him the best too. Up at Colorado, hope they have a great season.
Were you upset that he went to Colorado?
A bittersweet. Him being my coach my freshman year, it was my guy. But when we got the news that Coach TC was next man up, You
Yeah.
know, he kind of went out the window, went in and went out the window.
Well, you know, I
like,
covered TC when I was here.
come on. You
Yeah.
covered him as a player.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he would start out as quarterback.
Yeah, he started out as quarterback. Me and him talk about this all the time. He started out as a quarterback.
Uh-huh.
He went to running back. He said he got his thing knocked loose. He couldn't do that running back. He said he threw him at receiver.
And he was good.
And
He was good. He was at that time he was up for the best player in the state award, the Conley Award.
He came behind Eli.
He came behind Eli.
Eli Manning.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. I thought TC should. I thought he made a great transition from quarterback to wide receiver, man.
Yeah.
You know what number he wore?
I don't. Was it 10?
Yeah, 10.
He wore number 10. It was 10.
He was talented, man. So I'm really happy that he's the coach here.
Yeah, that's a guy. I've been, like I said, my freshman year, he was my tight ends coach. And being able to be with him, see him get promoted to this into where he's at now.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's real good for me.
So why didn't they throw you the ball in that game? The championship game?
Why I didn't get the ball?
Yeah, why didn't they throw it to you? Why didn't they throw it to
You know, we had a situation to where we had a previous position coach, Coach Brew. Me and him, we didn't get along at all.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, we kind of bumped heads. It was kind of crazy because Celebration Bowl, he wasn't even there.
The coach wasn't there? Where was he?
Colorado.
Oh, he had already gone?
The week before. Everybody else had their coaches. Tight ends, me, DJ Stevens, and Hayden.
Oh, well, that explains why poor little Hayden dropped the ball.
No, man, ain't got nothing to do with
Ain't
that,
got
man.
nothing to do
Ain't
with
got nothing to do with that, man.
Well, is Hayden back? Is he?
Hayden, yeah, he back working out. That's my
Okay.
guy, man, Hayden.
Yeah. He's good. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, Hayden from Louisiana,
Yeah.
like me, so we kind of connected off there.
Yeah,
but yeah.
He's a good guy, man. And he caught a similar pass like that against FAMU.
Yeah.
And people forgot about that.
Yeah. As soon as that one drop, like you said, don't nobody knows you until you do something wrong.
But I'm going to tell you now, it wouldn't have come to that if Charlo hadn't committed a
Pass
interference. It wouldn't have come to
But
that.
see, people don't talk about that.
Yeah, they don't talk about that.
They don't bring up that.
They don't bring that
but
up.
They bring up.
They bring up Hayden. Yeah,
They don't bring up the- they don't bring up
Charlo,
the incident.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, you right. Hey, you not wrong at all. I'm talking to Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, sir.
How
Wait. You said that wrong. Super Bowl champ, Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, get that right.
The Super Bowl champ, Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right.
Mr. Rob, young Rob, from
Yes, sir.
the middle of nowhere, Mississippi. How do you become a Kansas Chiefs fan?
I'm going to tell you how. When I was a little boy, my mom brought us this electric football game. You probably don't know nothing about it now. It was an electric football game with the little men. You plug up, turn on, they vibrate. Right? The little men vibrate. They had a team. Did you ever see that?
I play Madden on the TV.
No. They had.
PlayStation.
No, they had.
I don't know.
Ed Bishop knew about it. They had it was electric football game, and at the game that I had, it was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Minnesota Vikings.
Y'all had two teams.
Yeah, they play against each other.
I'm saying that's the only team that they had.
Well, that's because those two were in the Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl 4. So
Super Bowl 4?
yeah.
What Super Bowl we on now? Y'all know 40.
We're on Super Bowl 50 something. So this is the game right here. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Right here. It was and the little men here, they compete against each other. Okay. So anyway, one team when I was little, I didn't know it was Kansas City Chiefs. I just knew one team was in red and one team was in blue, but purple. All right, so my brother would play with the Vikings and I'd play with the Chiefs. Which at the time I just played team in red.
Team red.
But on the bag it had Chiefs on it. So he would beat me all the time. I would get mad. He talked noise. I would get mad. And I come to find out that team was the Kansas City Chiefs. And as a little boy, I didn't want to lose. And I would cry. I'd get mad. I wanted to kill it. Yeah. So when I realized that team was a team in the NFL on TV, that's when I gravitated. I was like, that's the Chiefs right there. That's the team I be playing with right here.
Thing.
And I was like, I don't want them to lose. That's how I ended up liking the Chiefs from the time I was a little bitty boy. And let me tell you, they were sorry for a long time.
They just got good
Wait,
now.
Now calm down now.
They just became good probably like the past 5 years.
They real good then.
I'm just saying.
Okay. So they were really sorry. Me going to school, man, people talk about me all the time, but I never stopped liking the Chiefs. Never. I kept even when I was working at TV station, I'd always say, soon to be Super Bowl champs. And that ended up being, that's what it is. It's Super Bowl champs.
Okay, so talk to me. Week before, I think the news broke out about Coach Prime going to Colorado. You asked him the question, Can you go up there? What it was, a divisional playoff game? Was it something the Chiefs was
The
playing?
Chiefs in the play. The Chiefs? No, it was the regular season game.
Oh, it was a regular season.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The Broncos didn't no playoff.
So how, did y'all you have made that trip? I'm just asking. You know, y'all made the trip to the game together.
No, he didn't take me.
Oh, he didn't take.
He didn't take me.
So he just left his boy back down
he
here.
left. But I was the only one who knew where he was going.
Yeah.
I was the only one who knew that. See,
He ain't the only one who knew.
oh, I wasn't the only one.
We knew. We most.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys knew. But as far as the reporters go,
Yeah, reporters.
because they didn't know what to ask him. In the little press conference, they were like, he even told one of them, "Y'all not asking the right questions." But I had it planned out.
Yeah.
I had to plan out.
See, they were scared of him.
Yeah,
they were scared to ask him. They
Yeah.
ain't want that heat. They ain't want that.
You know, because he would fire at you if you asked something wrong.
Yeah.
You know, he would talk slick out his mouth. But I knew where he was. God knew he was going. That's why I asked. But what I did was I looked to see, because I was like, you know what, the Chiefs hadn't played the Broncos yet. You know, in the same division. The season was getting real late,
real close to the end.
And I said, let me see when they play the Broncos. I was like, oh my goodness, they play next week in Denver. That's what I said. I knew what I was going to ask him. And when I said, let me ride with you, let me ride with the Chiefs playing the Broncos in Colorado, let me ride with you. They caught him off guard.
Yeah.
They caught him off guard.
I'm telling you, he was thinking nobody was going to ask him a question. Nobody was going to be, you know,
Yeah,
to ask
but
him
right. See, like my sister tells you, I ain't no flam.
You ain't.
I ain't no flam.
Swag Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I ain't no flam, son. You know, and you know that's why he up there talking about you change your voice. But see, the thing about it, before we started the interview, we were talking just regular little ism talk, like Cole, whatever, dog. You know. I can't do that when I'm talking, when I'm doing an interview with him.
You gotta,
you know, I mean, you're not doing it. So I couldn't get on there and say, yeah, what's up, Cole? What up, dog? Hey, what's up? What's going on? How the team going? I couldn't talk like that. But anyway, but he caught some flack from that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He did. So talk to me. Swag Hall of Famer, Mr. Rob J. How did that make you feel? I know this. Matter, let me change it. When did you realize the Hall of Fame could be the Swag Hall of Fame could be a possibility for you?
I didn't know that they put broadcasters in there. I didn't even think about it. One day this guy called me, Dr. Walter Reed. He called me. He said, "Man, you've been around the SWAC a long time. You've been covering the SWAC for a long, long time. We want to submit your name for the SWAC Hall of Fame." I said, "No." I said, "Yo, don't do that." I said, "Because I don't want to take no spot from nobody." And he said, "No, he said they got some broadcasters in there." He said, "You've been doing it for a long time. We'll just submit." He said, "Just give me some of your clippings and all that." I didn't give him nothing. I didn't send him anything.
Yeah.
So he called me back and he said, "Rob, you ain't sent nothing yet." He said, "Just send me." He said, "Just fill out the application." No, it wasn't the application. He said, "Just send me all you did for the SWAC, all the stuff that you've done in SWAC." I said, "Dr. Reed, really? I don't want to take, if there's a spot for somebody else that play it or coach, I don't want to." So he said, and I didn't even think it was going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, just to appease him, I said, okay. So I sent in what I had done for this, because I started doing play-by-play basketball for Alabama State.
Yeah.
That's why I started.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
And so this lady called from the SWAC, her name was Jasmine. She called me one day. I was one morning, and she said, "I just want to call and inform you that you have been selected to be inducted to the SWAC Hall of Fame." I thought it was a joke. I said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Ma'am, look, take it off and give it to somebody." She said, "No, we can't do that." So that's how that happened. But yeah, that was something. That was something to recognize the stuff. I didn't even think people were looking at the work that you did. I didn't, because I emceed a lot of SWAC events and stuff like that. But no, I didn't know that was a possibility. But I appreciate it.
Good, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now back to Alabama State, like you said, I read once again, you drove every weekend.
Where you see all of this
Hey,
at?
look, you think I'm about to come interview and I'm not going to be prepared? You think I'm not going to be prepared?
Oh, yes, sir. You are prepared, yeah. Yeah.
You drove, 3.5, 4 hours?
To Montgomery, Alabama.
To Montgomery, every weekend?
Every weekend.
From Jackson State?
From, I wasn't working at Jackson State.
Oh, you weren't working, okay.
No. But the guy who did Jackson State games at the time, Bob Carpenter, he told me that Alabama State needed somebody to do their games, and he recommended me. So I would go to Montgomery and do the game. But you know, man, that was so dangerous to do that, because
I was somebody say you drove 3 hours every weekend.
Yeah, and then back. Because I didn't have
So you never stayed?
No, I drove back after the game.
So you drove 6 hours?
Yes.
Basically, every week you drove 6 hours there?
Yes.
6 hours back?
After the game.
For 3 hours there, 3 hours
Yes, for WVAS radio. And I was so geeked up, I was so eager to do it, I didn't even think about how dangerous it was. Because that's a kind of a dangerous drive. Animals can come out in front of you. I didn't even think about it.
Deer?
Yeah, deer, but that never happened, and I was just so happy to do it. And then after that, I started doing sideline for Jackson State football. There was an opening for me to do that, and that's how I started doing sideline for Jackson State football.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah. And the thing about it, the TV station didn't. They were like, well, since you were at the game, we're not gonna have anybody. They were low down too, man. They were like, since you at the game and you're supposed to be shooting the game for us, we're not gonna give you a photographer. So you have to find a way to get Jackson State highlights. See, so what I did was I wore a vest and I put the microphone. Vest got a whole bunch of pockets in it. I put the mic right there. I was shooting the game and announcing it at
the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. So that's how I do basketball to this day. So yeah, I was like, okay, because I knew how to shoot. And that's why I tell all these students, learn how to shoot. Learn how to do all these little jobs that you don't want to do. Learn how to shoot. Learn how to shoot, and you got to worry about nobody. Nobody got to do it for you. Yes, sir.
That's how it is.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
So talk to me, JSU football. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you was here, you were covering Coach TC at the time.
Yes, sir.
He was a student athlete here.
Uh-huh.
How have you seen the change from they were like 2000? Mm-hmm. Now we're in 2023.
Wow, I've been there that long.
Yeah, it's a long time. Man.
Yeah, man.
What difference have you seen from 23 years, past 20
in
years?
Jackson State football?
Jackson State football.
Well, the swag in general has changed. It's more. It's a lot known. It's more known now. People know. Then it didn't get covered. Then it was overshadowed by the SEC. Jackson State was overshadowed by Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and all this because they used to play in the stadium. Now the stadium belongs to Jackson State. Jackson State was always the most winning team in the state.
Okay.
It was always Jackson State. But players are starting to go to these schools now. All the good players were coming to Jackson State. Not saying they're not good now, but because Mississippi State and Ole Miss and Southern Miss, they were sorry back then. Jackson State almost beat Southern Miss back then.
Come on.
At Southern Miss. Yeah, Jackson State, and the guys at Southern Miss were like, man, we played Alabama, we played LSU. Jackson State defense, the best defense we played all year. So Jackson State had some really good players, the most talented players, but they, now with all these NILs and all of this, they're going to these other schools. But JSU, for the most part, has still been a constant winner. They've still been good. And now Jackson State was filling up that stadium before who came.
Yeah, that's what they say. We was top 5 FCS.
Yeah, that stadium, yes. Jackson State always had the crowd. He didn't come and build a crowd now.
He did.
He brought it. Now, Jackson State did fall on some hard times after Coach Dumbbell. After him, Jackson State went on some hard times. And they let him throw away all the footage. I don't know how they let that man throw away all that footage, man. But after he left, it started being some lean years. Fans weren't coming back.
Okay.
But I will say, Deion did come back and brought the crowd back.
See, and it's crazy because I'm from Louisiana, from the southern area.
How you step away from Southern University?
Well, I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
So I'm from the southern area. Only HBCUs I ever knew was Grambling and Southern.
Really?
When I was in the 9th grade, 10th grade, I had this shirt on. I went to school. Well, we have my high school, St. Helena, best school in Louisiana. We had a band director from Alcorn. Alcorn, let me see. He's from Alcorn.
It ain't no Alcorn.
It's Alcorn.
Why you go rile the people up?
Alcorn.
Okay.
Alcorn.
It's your podcast.
And I had a shirt from a relative of mine. It was a Sonic Boom shirt. I threw it on like it was a regular shirt. Didn't think nothing of it. I'm at the school playing basketball. He come to me. He was like, "Hey, what kind of shirt you got on?" I'm like, "Nah, it's just a regular shirt." He's like, "That's a Sonic Boom shirt. People in the band. Don't know a regular person just had this." I'm like, "Nah, I just put the shirt on." Cool. I don't know what it had. It was a nice shirt too. I don't know what happened to it. But I didn't find out about Jackson State until Coach Prime announced.
Are you serious?
He was becoming the head coach. That was like September. That September.
You had never heard of Jackson State before that? You never heard of Walter Payton? Lindsey Hunter?
No.
Or Cam Boyd?
No.
You had never heard of these guys.
All I knew was Southern and Grammy. I thought Bayou Classic.
So you didn't hear of Walter Payton really?
No,
You didn't know who Walter Payton was?
I didn't know Walter Payton was till I committed to Jackson State.
Somebody really need to wrap you across your ass.
I ain't look. That's the truth. That's the truth.
I was just kidding.
But when Coach Prime announced that, I was in high school, my senior year, and I had like a different schools coming and offering scholarships, and my mom was like, "You gonna go to Jackson State?" She didn't say it like as a demand. She was like, "I know you gonna go to Jackson State." I ain't going no swag entries. So we go. I go through the season, and it was December. I never forget. It was like the night before a playoff game. Coach TC, he DM'd me on Twitter. He was like, "What's up, big man? How you doing?" So back, we go back and forth. No communication till after that. No communication at all. So we go, we play, we lose in the quarterfinals.
This is high school.
High school. We lose in the quarterfinals. We go playing basketball. I'm running track, and it's close to signing day. Early signing day is in December. I skipped that.
Okay.
Late signing day, February. I had a couple schools in mind. It was 5 schools I was considering.
Who was it?
It was the University of Memphis,
Okay.
Florida State, Southern,
Okay.
Grambling, and New Mexico.
Okay.
University of New Mexico. And last minute, University of Washington.
Okay.
I'm considering them. Day before Saturday now. I'm at school. We had a basketball
So
game.
you hadn't decided yet?
I hadn't decided. I was going to wake up that morning, and whatever school I feel like, that's where I was going to go.
Wow.
So we had a basketball game that same night. And, that night, all the schools kind of like, man, come on, let us know so we get this going. We got to get this. I'm like, nah, coach, I'm not really feeling it. I got to do something. They're like, come on, man. They was pressuring me. I was like, man, this just don't feel right. I never forget Coach TC called me, and I declined it because his number wasn't saved. I'm like 601 Mississippi. Who called me again? So, okay, they called him twice. He's got to be somebody I know. He answered the phone. You're like, what's up, big man? How you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good, coach, He said, yeah, we gonna bring you in tomorrow for signing day. I like, bring me in? I ain't heard from you since December. December the last, you think I'm about to commit? He was like, we're gonna bring you in, tomorrow. I'm like, man, he tripping, man. We hung up the phone. I go play the basketball game that night, and I go to sleep, and I wake up, and they signed it. We got the whole school. I signed it was at like 2. Got the whole school day, and it was me and a couple of my friends. We always signed it. And I was like, Jency, where you going? Where you going?
You still didn't know at that moment?
No, I'm thinking. And it was right before signing, right before I went up on the stage. Coach EC called me again. He was like, what you going to do, bro? So I can send over the papers because you had to sign the NIL papers. I mean, not the NIL, NLI. I was like, yeah, send me the papers because a couple schools sent me the papers. Send me the papers. And I never forget, I got up there and my mama gave me the Jackson State hat. And I looked at the hat and I was like, yeah.
Really?
I was like, this one I'm going to go.
What changed your mind?
It was just something just felt right about it. It was just looking at the hat. I can't remember what hat. I think it had the J on there. Just looking at the hat, I was like, this might not, this all right.
Did you regret it?
Nah, it's the best decision I made so far, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm glad you're here. You met your boy.
Yeah. So it's like coming here and not being for the past 2 years, undefeated in the SWAC one. 2-time SWAC.
We undefeated in the SWAC?
Undefeated in the SWAC. Past 2 years, we didn't lose games.
Nobody beat us. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, past 2 years, we only lost came to ULM.
That's correct. I forgot about that.
I'm undefeated in the SWAC. I go back home. I'm just shooting down. I make sure I wear my ring everywhere I go. I either wear it on my neck or my finger. And I go to,
you go to the wrong place.
I go to Southern and I get looks and they look at me all crazy and I just be like, I'm SWAC. 2-time SWAC champ.
You wear both rings?
We ain't got the second one.
You got the second
when we
one.
get the second one, I'm gonna be ignorant.
Okay.
I'm gonna be ignorant. I'm gonna go both fingers and I'm gonna walk around like this.
You gonna be like this? You go to the wrong place. You gonna be like that. But no, man, we glad to have you, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's a great story.
Yeah. It's crazy. And the people, when I tell people that story, they be like, "Wow."
And right, he said they the best school in Louisiana. Is Southern Lab in Louisiana?
Yeah, Southern Lab.
Southern Lab is in Louisiana. Southern Lab don't want nothing with us. Southern Lab don't want no smoke with us. They don't Southern Lab. Let me tell you.
You know the guy do the game with me. He's Southern Lab.
Let me tell you.
Coach Asbury.
We never played Southern Lab in football, but we played them in basketball. Every time we played Southern Lab, we dominated Southern Lab.
Really?
Every time.
The
I got a
kids.
couple. The kids. That's why they're the kids. We was the Hawks. They don't need the Hawks. Southern Lab kids. Every year we played them in basketball, we won by a lot, and it wasn't close.
But you in a higher conference, what is it, higher division than they are?
No, they was the better school.
Oh,
Southern
that's
Lab, the private schools. I think if I'm not mistaken, Southern Lab is they're like one of the
Yeah.
division schools, one of the private schools.
But you don't play them in football.
We don't play them in football.
Okay.
We play them in
Right.
basketball.
But that
and
is
we beat them.
that's a
every
good
time.
story about you choosing Jackson State.
Yeah, and then so when I choose Jackson State, like I said, I'm from Southern country, Southern land, Southern and Graham, really Southern.
Mm-hmm.
All my people are Southern alumni. Southern.
Did they get mad? Because that's a big rivalry.
Oh yeah, everybody was mad. I have an uncle, Uncle Lawrence. He just passed away not too long ago. Every time he'd see me, he'd have on his Southern hat. And I go around and make sure I want some Jackson State. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna bring back a Jackson State hat, and I'm gonna take that hat off your head, and I'm gonna put this Jackson State hat on you. He was like, "Oh, you ain't gonna do none of that." And when I did it, he sat back. He just, he
Wow.
couldn't stand it, but it was me, so he stayed with it for me. But yeah, that was.
Well, to make if you feel any better, my daughter who's in broadcasting,
Okay.
she chose to go to Southern, so she's at Southern right now in Baton Rouge. So this is her last year at Southern. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so she likes Southern. So
Yes, sir.
and that's all. But
That
yes,
is,
sir.
man.
Yes,
But
sir.
look, I ain't got too much else for you, man. I'm gonna let you go. I done had your time for quite a while.
I
man.
appreciate it,
I
man.
appreciate you coming on. It's the first
Now,
episode.
your major is broadcasting?
Mass communication, yeah. Mass comm.
You're going to be great at it.
Yeah, this is what I want to do. I say I got a face that should be on TV. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got-
You're a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
You speak well. You do your research. I see you've done a lot of research.
know,
So
so-
whatever I can do to help you out, you're going to let me know.
I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes, sir.
everybody, thank you for watching. This has been a Life Riley podcast with my man Rob J.